You've got to tune to 90.3 FM, KEXP in Seattle. I'm Kevin Cole. It's the afternoon show, and I'm down in the performance space with Jonathan Wilson, artist who put out one of my favorite records of last year, Gentle Spirit, and I'm Not Alone. Mojo Magazine named it one of the albums of the year, as did a ton of other music lovers. And welcome to KEXP.
Hey, man.
It's great to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Cool. How about a couple songs to get things started?
Sure. Let's do one, guys. Here we go. Desert, we'll do first. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Fuzzy white haze and the asphalt was a leak. Sand, it was a grayish shade of blue. The spirits held desire while eyes they didn't like the evening that we only thought we knew. I heard the birds' wings over me, vibrations in the air to my ears. The sun was rising, sleeping low, the day was settled up to go. The desert's lonely nightfall disappeared. The raven flies through the desert skies, is wiser than you and me. The birds have a peace, a stillness of sleep, and the desert raven, he has poetry. And flame, let the diamonds meet the night. Crystal blue will turn to ruby red. The plants become a maze under the heavens, starry haze. On Pegasus he gallops overhead. Follow close the river's edge while saffron slowly grows inside the caves. The starry minds of hyacinth, the moon below the sun's eclipse, sandy canyon floats beyond the waves. The raven who flies through the desert sky is wiser than you or me. The birds have a peace, a stillness of sleep. The desert raven, he has poetry. Looking for a reason not to stay drunk all the time. Feel my way through the creases of those wrinkled linen sheets of time. When you wandered off to Mexico, leave and let no one know you'd flown. That was the moment I made a truce between the feather and the goose. Come back speaking Spanish to me, I don't mind. Sky water running off the mountain, sliding through the light of dusty souls. The field of water grows, I skip the pebble of the lonely mockingbird. When you laundered off with money, man, we all knew there would be no return. That was the moment when the breeze dashed along the wicked seas, came back as the Ballad of the Pines. Sing it with me if your heart is broken, and this is the Ballad of the Pines. Sing it with me when you're filled with joy. This is the Ballad of sitting with your best friend, sing it to them. The Ballad of the Pines. They are standing there like temples, sing it to them. The Ballad of the Pines.
Beautiful song. That is Ballad of the Pines. Before that, Desert Raven, both from the new album Gentle Spirit. It's Jonathan Wilson live in studio here at KEXP. with band. Do you mind introducing the band?
Like these guys? Like yourselves? Like you're good
Hi.
at that, Jake.
My name's Jake. I play bass.
Welcome.
And back there on the like the M-tron is Mr. Bourget. His name is Jason. And then on guitar here is my man Omar. And yeah.
Welcome
I'm
to
happy to be
KEXP.
here.
Appreciate you guys stopping by. You got a show next Wednesday at the Troubadour in LA. And Jonathan, how do you, I mean, you got so much going on. You produce records, you play on all sorts of people's records, you have a studio in LA, and you're an artist yourself. How do you balance all these things?
Well, I guess I was just sort of in some sort of a black hole, just thinking I could do them all at the same time.
Yeah.
But now I've sort of come up like for air and put together this band, and so that's what we're going to be doing for the next bit and stuff. And then, but you know, definitely it's good to get back in the studio to do other things too. It's that for me was kind of the ultimate kind of goal, was to be able to do both. And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, well, it seems like I know you've been extremely busy. You produced the Jay Tillman record, the Father John Misty,
Yeah.
that just came out. You know, he's a local boy with was with Fleet Foxes, and
That album's amazing.
yeah, it's beautiful sounding.
Yeah.
And I know on Record Store Day there were a couple of things. I mean, you had your own release,
Right.
And you also produced a Bonnie Prince Billy record,
Right.
and so when you did Gentle Spirit, which came out last year, was that sort of something you had a timetable for, or were you just doing it whenever you could fit it in around the rest of the things? And does
Yeah.
that make a difference?
Yeah, that was actually like it was it was an extended thing where I would do, you know, like a batch of tunes and then come back and do some other stuff. And then I guess there was a well, I mean, I actually did have like a board like with all the songs on it that I had done, and sort of, you know, I was putting together, I guess, pieces of a puzzle there to sort of put together the, you know, like the album as a whole and stuff. But,
When you say like a board, like a
Yeah,
whiteboard, you'd write them down and look at it.
Yeah,
And kind of,
and the songs were all there, and I would sort of stare at it for, you know, for like some time, then like come back, and then so yeah. But that album was good in the, you know, in the respect that there was no there wasn't a time sort of like a crunch to get it done and stuff. So that, you know.
The reason I ask that is it doesn't feel that way. There's a different feeling to this record, and everything, so much of it, the stuff people consume now seems to be all about instant impact.
Right.
And there's an ease and a flow to this record that like rewards listeners over time.
Yeah.
Because the songs really just, you find time kind of stopping when you're listening to it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I could see, at least for myself, to, you know, like to compose them then and then to like the tune that we just did or something. It sort of puts me in a bit of a, you know, like a state, like a peaceful type of thing and stuff. So that, you know, that was a goal.
Sweet. That's what happens to me when I listen to it. So, how does that differ, or does it, from when you work with other artists in the studio that you're producing, say, and you've got to knock out an album in a week, or
right? Yeah, like that. I mean, I actually sometimes I don't practice like what I preach. You know, like when I am the producer, there's definitely you know, like a schedule and things that I'm, you know, basically trying to not over sort of edit and, you know, do things like that to preserve the just the time that was actually spent there with the musicians in the studio.
Is producing more about creating a vibe, or is it about working with the artists on all the tech things and kind of
Yeah.
collaborating on the songs?
I mean, at least for me, I don't personally, as you know, usually I don't really try to dive in the specifics of the tunes, the changes and stuff, and the, you know, like me, I'm not trying to tell someone to like to change what they've, you know, what they're, you know, like the poetry or something,
yeah.
like, you know,
How
that,
they've
that
written a
type of thing.
song.
But it's just mainly trying to pull the best, you know, thing out of it with, you know, definitely trying to like to be you know, trying to pull out like the honesty for sure. That's a big thing.
Well, the sound you've captured, like the Father John Misty record, for example, just has a similar beautiful, full, rich palette orchestration.
Well, the great thing about that album is that was done with no expectations in the respect. Let's see, the best way to say it would be, it was just, you know, that album was like completely, you know, like the time that was like the band, and that was completely inspired. So there wasn't, you know, if like if I had an idea, like it was done, and there was not a you know, that sort of
Calculated or a lot of effort.
opposition to, you know, like to try stuff, you know. So that's the result, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, again, great sounding record. Now, you're probably sick of talking about this, but there's all the Laurel Canyon kind of
Yeah, like the Grand
pigeonholing
Canyon.
maybe.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
yeah, and you recorded this album there, and you had a space there in a studio you were working out of. And for listeners who might not know, it's like a legendary kind of LA music community area where,
Sure.
you know, you had Joni Mitchell and and Neil Young and
Yeah.
Jackson Browne, a lot of the just incredible '70s stuff. And you've been sort of talked about as revitalizing that sound.
Yeah.
I also hear like a real, and there is a bit to the sound of that, or a truth to the sound of that, but I
Right.
hear like almost a vintage jazzy kind of vibe in this record too.
Sure. Yeah.
Tell me about what place means to recording music or creating music, and I know specifically one of the songs on the album, "Can We Really Party Today," kind of talks about your North Carolina roots.
Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely the canyon there, and like particularly the studio that was there was, you know, it was sort of up in the hills, and like it's way up in the trees and the vegetation and stuff, and you know, and it was the place I had was extremely you know, sort of isolated there. So that, you know, that was a big thing, you know, just to be able to completely hole up, you know, for days at a time on a song, you know, and that to be on the console, and you know, like day after day after day, the same song, you know, like is on the console and stuff. But
Again, no rush then.
yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's the you know, the beauty of having your own studio, right?
Right.
As an artist,
Yeah.
you don't have to feel like you've got a week or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Which can also, I guess, like potentially be a pitfall too.
Yeah.
But yes, but definitely like the canyon and stuff, you know, like it is a part, you know, of the album, and although, you know, then at the time that wasn't, you know, like when I got the house there and stuff, that wasn't not the plan, was to be like the canyon dude.
Yeah.
But that ended up to sort of align, and it was, you know, like it's fine. I mean, honestly, like when I see the comparisons, like for example to Crosby or something like that, like me, I'm extremely stoked about that. That anyone would like compare, you know, like to those artists.
Yeah.
It's a, you know, that's an honor.
Yeah, I would imagine. The Record Store Day single, the A-side, is a cover of Isn't It a Pity, and Graham Nash sings on
Yeah,
it. So how did that
yeah.
come to be?
That was a lot of fun. That was when I had done some songs and a concert with Graham, and you know, he, you know, just said, hey man, you know, like if there's ever a tune that you have at your studio or something, I'll come by. And I said, well, you know, I have a song that I'm about to do, like a George song. And then, you know, he said that those two guys had been, you know, like were good pals and stuff. And Graham was like, yeah, I'll come by. So, you know, so that was that. But he came over, and he's just, you know, well, he's like the best, man. He's the, you know. And so, but yeah, that turned out, I mean, that's one of the great, you know, things like that I've ever done, was to be able to harmonize like with Graham and stuff. Yeah,
I can imagine that would be a rush.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Jonathan Wilson live in studio here at KEXP. The album Gentle Spirit came out last year, and do you mind playing a couple more songs?
Yeah, sure thing. Let's do like Can We Party?
Cool.
Nice. Find my pick. Here it is. Let's try it, yeah? Let's let with you off the top.
Divine lakes with the canopies overhead, said lavender, brick and dry. I keep the pillow for your head at night. Chase the wolf to the ragged river den where the stormy weather stays outside. That beaver's still chopping the pine. Everybody has a lovely time. But hey, can we really party today? With all that's going on, shouldn't we get started today? Show you where the red tail flies. That broad river slowly winds. The honeysuckles on the vine. Chase me down here to South Louisiana. Let me show you where the music lies. Swan music and dance and wine. Never keep it all inside. Can we really party today? With all that's going on, shouldn't we get started today? Shouldn't we get started today? With all that's going on, with all that's going on. That's going on. Can we really party today? With all that's going on. Can we really party today? With all that's going on. Can we really party today? With all that's going on. Can we really party today?
You good?
More or less. The universe keeps rolling along. Billy Kid, he walks towards the sun. I had a dream. Miss Misty Avon and me sang in the canyon. Walk through the mansion and then with a whippoorwill 3 or 4 times. The universe keeps rolling along. The marksman, he strikes while he's young, younger than me. He's my inspiration. He's the salt of creation. And he's a vision of patience. He's been in my kitchen 3 or 4 times. The universe keeps rolling along. The Billy Kid, he walks towards the sun. I had a dream. Better leave young, leave the good bones. Happiness waits at the end of the road. The universe keeps rolling along. Billy Kid, he walks towards the sun. I saw this thing, 12 valiant miners in a labyrinth of fire. It's just like I'm sleeping till the morning. I see him on the other side. The universe keeps rolling along. The Billy Kid, he walks towards the sun. The universe keeps rolling along. The white dove, she sails towards the sun. I had a dream. Keeps rolling along. Billy Kid, he walks towards the sun. The universe keeps rolling along. The white dove, she sails towards the sun. Autumn to spring.
Jonathan Wilson live on the afternoon show, KEXP Rolling Universe, the track. And Can We Really Party Today? Before that, both from Gentle Spirit, the recent album sounding beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you guys for having us.
You bet. And a couple things.